Good morning, afternoon, happy time zone, free enterprise fans, and welcome to this exciting race to start off our Saturday between Masnokinza and Pyre. Uh, my name is Xenocat. I am joined here in the booth by Garen. How are you doing today, Garen?
I am doing wonderful this morning. It just got up.
That sounds very familiar. We are. I am very excited to see how these two runners plan out against each other. I know Pyre has been putting in the work in the community, has been performing pretty well in several of these past tournaments. Masnokin's, I think, a relatively newer runner to the community, so going to be really interesting to see what he brings to the table. But it does look like we have a Yang hero. What do you make of that, Garen?
Well, Yang Hero is kind of interesting to play with. I mean, Yang is great on these flags if you can sling him. We can't sling our hero, unfortunately. Agility is not too fast, not too slow. Yang is going to be a little bit slow to get going, but once he does get some power, could be pretty nice. And if you get Yang's Forge, be really spicy there. And we have some spicy objectives, don't we?
Yes, we do. We've got a few. Some of them are pretty standard. Forge we always have available. Uh, we do have one that's just on getting underground. Defeat the community ton of monsters. Super easy. Pinktail is going to be interesting with that hook and pinktail requirement. Although hook being almost hard required with Launch the Falcon as well. Darkness Crystal probably going to be required this seed with a moon objective and that spicy Giant of Babel seed, or Giant of Babel objective. And then just a couple other key items we need, which are the tower key for that super cannon and the package to burn mist.
This seems to be burned in almost every seed that I seem to either watch or play. It's kind of funny. Poor Rydia, who's also
Yeah,
doing the stream with us today.
I have definitely seen a lot of burning of mist. We promise this objective is randomly generated.
Rando gonna rando, but yeah, the generator seems to have a very bit of a vendetta against Mist, at least in the early going here.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I think that's a revenge for us making Bahamut easier to get.
that could be, yeah. I mean, Bahamut's tier 5 now, so I mean, we can find it in any chest pretty much on the overworld or anywhere. So, if I find a Rydia, it just could be just a Blarg sitting in a box somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's tier 6, but still, yeah, that's a pretty big demotion from tier 7 where it was very rare to find Bahamut. Notably, you can't find Bahamut in Dwarf Castle in previous versions. You can now.
And it seems to happen about half the time, so
Yes.
it seems. And it must be tier 5 because I have seen it in just mist. No, sorry, watery boxes. Oh, we've got a
Watery
magma
can
key
hit tier
start.
6. But, ooh, yeah, that is a Magma Key start, which is great because we have Edward. Edward is not the power that we need to have with Yang.
No, this is a little bit of team weak sauce right now because Edward is low HP and no spoon to start with, and Yang needs levels to really get going, and you can't really. If you put all the best gear on him, he's still gonna be pretty weak to start.
Yeah, this is where is our dancing dagger? Give me a dancing dagger, please.
Eddie might actually come equipped with one. You never know until you look.
He could. Yeah, that is true. We do have the Sineki flag, which means that our characters start with no armor and one tier 1 to 3 weapon, and dancing daggers are in that range. They are tier 3.
Yeah, apparently our heroes never heard the advice from the old man in the cave of it's dangerous to go alone. Also dangerous to go unclothed.
Yeah, they forgot about that. They left them all at home.
Or all their clothes were in mist and we burned it or something like that, you know.
Some. Well, no, we haven't burned mist yet. Clearly, because that objective isn't lit up.
We keep rebuilding after we burn it. Anyways, both runners are going to put the magma key into the well.
Yes, and
Iron's going to try to
Fire-
check the shop to see
yes.
if the characters got in the way.
Those anchored NPCs really don't want us to go to the shop. There are Cure 2s and Starveils in that shop I saw. Masnokinza deciding, you know what? I don't need to check that shop. it's not worth it. I'm gonna go right to the Fey March. Let's go see what kind of loot we can get out of here. Gonna save first because there is one monster box in this cave, but once you run into it, you know that every other box is safe. And it's a little bit higher tier loot than what you get on the overworld.
Yep. All of our oh, there's the box early. All of our boxes without monsters are, I think, max tier 5 on this setting. So with T Pro,
No, T Pro is just a little bit harder waiting. You can get some tier 6 stuff, especially in the gated areas, like the watery pass and the path to the Fey March. It's just not very common.
I see. Okay, I thought it was max tier 5 for some reason.
It is max tier 7.
Oh, sorry, we changed that, didn't we? Okay, I'm still on a different planet apparently.
Yeah, it's T Pro, which tends to be pretty rough, and this flag set in early stages was max tier 5, but it is no longer max tier 5. It's just T Pro, meaning we're not going to get any good things. Min tier is set to 3, which means we're not going to get anything really bad out of the chest, so they are all guaranteed to be at least up to tier 3. So we do see a lot of tier 3, 4, 5 stuff here, as we get an Ogrex, I think, and a Gungnir, which are not bad for characters that we don't have in this party. The headband and Medana are great, though.
I can give Yang a little bit of juice at the start, and we've got just a life staff here at the freebie, so no progression here.
Nope. That will be very nice if we can find a white mage to hold it. And there, we do find illusions for sale here in the shops. We do have S Pro shops, which means that our shops will only ever go up to tier 4, with the exception of Kokol's shop.
Yes, and Kokol, I mean, I think this shop comes with usually, what, 4 items? And those 4
Yep.
items, they can run the gamut of great to meh.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a blue rope here. Is this the free one, or is this the... That looks like a gauntlet. That is a gauntlet.
Those are some hooligans. Yep, that's a gauntlet. And we do have Golbez at the Asura spot. Actually, strangely enough, if we could get Edward enough agility, that Golbez is doable right now. We do have a question in chat. What makes Yang our hero? In this flag set uses the C hero flag, which means our starting character is designated as our hero. That means that our hero will have to fight the third Ordeals fight in the changing room, where Cecil usually goes to become a paladin, by himself. So in this case, Yang will have to do that fight all by himself. Our hero is our agility anchor. Just like in the vanilla game, Cecil is your agility anchor. All agility is determined relative to Cecil's agility, and that's what determines how many ticks in the ATB everyone else's meter fills up. It is now all going to be based on Yang's agility. Normally, the vanilla game would just default to whoever's in the middle slot, enabling you, the player, to control who sets the agility. Not so with the Sea Hero flag. Finally, Kokol will, instead of forging an Excalibur, will forge a random, very good weapon for Yang.
And all of Yang's choices are good. I think he has 3 claws in the pool. I think the God Hand, the Tiger Claw, and the Dragon Claw, right?
I believe so. Tiger Claw is a little bit of a disappointment. All it does is boost agility, I believe, which is not the best for your hero. You generally don't want your hero going too fast, because that will slow down everyone else, and likely won't slow down the boss that much. But God Hand and Dragon Claw are both very good, and Tiger Claw is not completely worthless.
It almost sounds like an Edward characterization when you're talking about the Tiger Claw.
Look, it has its uses. Sometimes that agility will give you an extra modifier, and that's not bad.
That is true, although it takes, what, 15 agility points to do it?
16.
16, okay, one off.
Every 16 is one multiplier for agility, and every 8 is a multiplier for strength.
So apparently the programmers of Free Enterprise felt it was better to be strong than to be fast.
Yes, but well, being fast also makes you fast. Strength doesn't do anything other than damage.
If you're a fast one like Edge or Kane, I mean, who needs the who needs the extra
Yeah.
agility? They've already got plenty.
Yeah, exactly. Pyre stopping by Tomra real quick to do a little bit of extra looting and shopping while Masnokinza is headed right into Antlion. There were vampires in Tomra, which are a very good way to get through the early game, but we don't need those here.
On the other hand, we do actually need some HP.
We do, in fact, need some hit points.
I know these aren't going to be very, very fast, but I mean, only 500 hit points on that king, but this is a little spicy if we don't get some HP on here.
Yeah, we're gonna throw that Cure 2 potion at Yang. I think that's the correct decision. We need more than one hit point on each of our characters to survive these fire spells.
Oh yeah, just a reminder, always check HP before going into a fight, just in case.
Yeah. Ooh,
especially if this is the fight you're going into. There's a Leviathan on Mount Hobbs.
Ooh, yeah. Leviathan will start with a big wave that does 25% to the whole party, so Yang is not going to survive here, but that's okay. We got vampires, and we are going to be getting a Porum.
Porum is nice.
Yeah. She's not the damage we're looking for, but you know she's a white mage.
If there's a heroine rogue, she might be the damage we're looking for in the early game.
Yeah, that requires getting a heroine robe. That's not always the easiest thing to do.
It's always in the checks you don't check. It says 399 of them. Most of the time, you can't falsify that statement. There's an Earth Crystal in the Antlion Cave. That's nice for some loot.
That is going to be access to the Treasury, which is the highest tier of loot from chests that do not have monsters in them.
Yeah, and it also means that the might be a little bit annoying to the runners, because that means that you could just run the Treasury early and then skip a lot of the underground looting, because this is actually better. But it also means the looting is probably done after we're through this Treasury.
Yeah, I would be very tempted to just say, you know what, I'm good after seeing what's in the Treasury. Although it looks like Masnokinza is heading up to Mount Hobbs to check down that character, and will probably be quite happy to see Porum.
I'd be a little bit less happy if did not buy vampires. I don't remember if Masnokinza did.
I don't believe he went to Tomra, so I don't believe he has those.
Okay, then we will see momentarily. It's not a bad location for this. I mean, might have to use some Star Veils, possibly, to reflect the ice too.
Yeah, the damage options in this party are rather limited.
So especially that ice 2 will, I think, one-shot Porum. I don't think it'll be the same for Yang, but yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's not happening without those vampires, unfortunately.
Not without a Star Veil used to block the ice 2.
Yeah.
That might get you through it. It'll be a little bit slow, but you know. Pyre, meanwhile, is going to find the Earth Crystal. And we'll probably make a beeline towards that.
I would definitely expect to see Pyre go right to that Treasury.
Masnokinza is fading it for now and is going to the Bull Defense.
I mean, on the one hand, I kind of get it, because there's not a lot of high-tier loot that's going to help Palom and Yang at this point in the game.
On the other hand, this is not what you want to see for a low-power party like this.
No. On the other hand, I need power before I do any checks, because these two can't do anything.
Those ones are going to hurt from that Mylon, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not the most friendly fight here. Mylon is not a particularly scary boss, but this party is just so weak.
I would say this is not a particularly scary party though. That's the counter there, and ooh, that almost took out Edward.
Yeah, and we don't really have any healing because we haven't gone shopping for those Cure 2s.
And we don't give them to you in the starting pack because we want you to actually go and find them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're for sale in Agert. Although
They are for sale in Agert.
I think only Pyre knows that.
And Pyre is going to be checking out this treasury.
Yep, we will see just how good of a treasury this is.
Get your rating hats on. Here we go. Gungnir, Leviathan, White Artemis, Ninja, Charm, Samurai, Heroine. Two Heroine.
Robes.
Crystal armor, I think. Rune axe, assist, and
Yeah.
that's, that's probably a 9.
That is.
Please.
Yeah, that is a very, very solid treasury.
And Masnokinza, I think, is going to be a little bit sad it didn't go there first because that would. Actually, he doesn't have the Porum yet, but
no, yeah, that was mostly a Porum gets to win treasury, but
Samurai bow and arty arrows, it's like, yeah, that'll nuke some of those early fights down there for you.
Yeah, Porum is basically all set to win the game for Pyre right now.
Indeed. And she's going to the middle slot to get better accuracy for this, while we put a heroine robe on her, arty arrows with an elven bow, and yeah, we're going to go to town here.
Now this extra little bit of time spent just checking those underground shops for vampires, checking some of these extra shops just for some of these basic supplies, and that time spent looting the treasury are going to give Pyre a much easier time through this Mylon fight.
I mean, I understand you want to get your checks going as fast as you can, but if you're not well enough geared for them, and this is a tough starting party, it can really slow down.
Yeah. Like, I think Masnokinza can get through this fight with this setup, but it is going to be very slow, and you're not going to get a lot of power out of this setup, whereas Pyre with that Dancing Dagger on Edward, using that to clear out some of the ghasts. Still using some of those starting vampires with Yang, and with Porum having a bunch of arrows that'll do really good damage.
Masnokinza took another wipe on the Mylon and Friends.
Unfortunate.
Porum is actually on Mount Hobbs, Veritas.
Yeah, Porum is on Mount Hobbs, behind a Leviathan that was a little bit too rude for Masnokinza without those vampires.
And looks like Masnokinza is going to try a third attempt on the Mylon and Friends.
Nope, this is just gonna go talk to Sheila. This is getting another free key item, seeing if that can maybe bail him out. I definitely don't fault this at all if you're having trouble with a boss fight. Turn around, do something else. Unfortunately, that Dragoon armor is not the answer we're looking for.
Pyre is going to find out what the Dark Knight left behind with the King of Fabul years ago. A rat tail.
Neat.
Apparently, the Dark Knight was not very diplomatic when he was doing that.
No. Well, we will be able to turn that in if we get a hook, but it's an extra little quick check. Not bad, but not a particularly special key item.
Nope, although it can have some nasty chains behind it at times, especially if our hook is buried on the moon, let's say.
Oh, yeah.
That hook can be anywhere.
Oh, Masnokinza heading now to Baron Inn to see if this is a bit easier, although because we are on the base flag set, we don't get any duplicate characters, which means that Edward there isn't going to actually join the party.
Yeah, and it hasn't healed before this fight either, so this is actually pretty rough for Young anyways.
This is going to be a rough fight for Young, for this party to just get through. And this is not the hard fight. There's a harder fight after this first fight.
I'm wondering what is even going to be really possible with this setup. If you got one character up with 25 HP,
I think there's only
or
yeah no
or to get there. Okay.
no I don't think this Baronin is happening yet. I think Masnokinza needs to take a breather, which can be so hard to do in a race situation. Just take a breath, go get some power, and then come back and start snowballing.
We got a water hag here at the front of Mount Ordeals.
Yep, nice little free introduction. It looks like Masnokinza might be doing just that, heading out back to Agert for some shopping.
Mm-hmm.
This will be good for him.
And has got a bit of an accent because of Pyre's naming scheme, so it's now Adward. So that's a fun thing.
Yep, the silly name generator has given us the wonderful names of Ponga, Warham, and Adward.
And has given us a plague at the back spot. This might actually be a wipe for Pyre, because this is going to count very, very fast.
I think it's still fine because Porum still gets the better agility. The only disadvantage of the back attack is Plague gets to get the count off so quickly. But Porum should still be fast enough here to get at least a couple of shots off, since it is still based on Yang's agility.
Okay, guts through.
Yeah, and that's enough damage.
Yep. Because Plague is weak to it's flying, so it's weak to arrows. That's right.
Yeah, well, technically per the game's code, it is weak to arrows, therefore, so it flies.
I didn't realize the logic works that way, but okay.
That is how the logic works. If the game's logic states, if the enemy has a weakness to air, which is the element that is ascribed to arrows and spears and all of that, then it starts the enemy with auto float.
And apparently things that look to be auto-floating are not necessarily floating. So,
no.
Yeah.
It only applies that if they're weak to air. So like the CPU orbs that look like they're floating, nope, they're not floating because it's not weak to air. So it didn't apply the auto float. Mylon Z has the weakness to air. The game applies auto float, even though it does not look like Mylon Z is floating. And we
we have music.
Yes, I am very excited about that music from Ordeals. I don't think Pyre is, but...
Is Pyre a member of the Harp Raiders Anonymous Club?
Not necessarily, but Harp is not a fast check. Harp is not a great check from a runner's perspective. It's long, it's slow, there's one key item and one boss. It's not really a high value check, let's say.
That's all true, although I think Porum will have the exit by the time we actually get there. So, I mean, that will make it a little bit less punishing to go through it.
Yeah, with the experience from Fabul and Ordeals, we should get up to exit.
Masnokinza is finding that there was a jute dragon sitting behind the Kaipo guards. So that's not doable here.
Yeah, although that is a bit painful for this point in the seed.
Pyre will have no problem though, because those arty arrows, it's weak to those.
Yeah, this Porum is just putting in all of the work for Pyre. And I think the sooner Masnokinza can get his hands on that Porum and get to that treasury to get that really good loot out of there, the sooner he'll be able to start catching up to say.
Yeah, he's going to try the Fabul defense again here. So he did get some equipment, some items. So
yep, I think with Cure 2's Masnokinza will be able to get through this. Unfortunately, the Rat Tail won't be the instant value that he's looking for.
Pyre, meanwhile, is going to go and visit the Baron Inn, it looks like. We'll reset the party, because Yang, we really can't back row him on these flags unless you are like one of our runners and is able to sneak something into his hand to do it. Um, and Porum has the best accuracy in the middle slot, so this makes sense.
Yes, the middle slot does give a 25% accuracy bonus, which means it is really great to put your archer there because archers tend to, or many of the bows have lower accuracy. Unless you're using the aim command from Rosa, that messes things up, but Porum doesn't have that.
No, Porum needs to be a little bit older to learn how to aim.
Yeah, she didn't learn how to do that. She just knows how to fight. But we do have Pyre taking out those first set of guards, now putting on the arty arrows, casting Berserk to boost Porum's damage.
And pretty much going to just be probably putting down the controller because that's a one-shot.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Weaknesses in this game can be very strong.
And there's a legend sword with that Edward.
That is very nice. That's half of Forge.
Well, we will take the legend sword, and Edward, you can go rest in the bed because we already have you.
Yeah, so we don't get to have another Edward. It doesn't count.
Also, it's probably a good thing we don't have to go through the hook route to get underground because right now we really would have quite a party for that.
Yeah, I think the hook route would be pretty challenging for Porum to try and get through all by herself. Because let's be honest, Porum is this party at 99% strength right now.
Yes, this is true. Edward is quote unquote helping with a dancing dagger here and there. Yang is he needs levels, and there's
Yeah.
no shortcut to that.
No, this party is very much that meme of the runner's party right now. The whole party, runner's party at 99% strength, just Porum.
This is interesting. Pyre's gonna check the dwarf castle. Is this a shop check maybe?
Stop check, and this is like, I mean, this is the next check I think I would do. I would be tempted by Zot. Zot is a little bit longer of a check, but if you're routing dictates that if you're doing Zot, you're also doing Harp, which is a little less appealing.
Pyre has bought 20 Cure 3s, so and is gonna check the dwarf castle.
Yeah, I mean, may as well. I think this is a check that Porum actually could maybe get through.
I think it was a Sparkle we saw, so we've already seen the Dude. We've already seen
we've seen the Plague. So
Ogo
2 in 3 chance that that whatever this is weak to Porum. That is not weak to Porum.
This is interesting. I mean, I think Porum can survive the physical hits. I don't think the other two are able to do that, but
no, the other two will not. This spot punches.
We do buy a whole bunch of Cure 3s though, so we can keep Porum healed up. Oh, there's illusions
and there's
too.
A couple of illusions that'll help keep Yang alive. This is gonna work. It's not gonna be pretty.
Well, I think Porum has to get about 10 hits off based on what the numbers are showing right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close too.
Oh yeah, this spot can punch. Masnokinza did get through that Fabul defense, and is now going back for Porum with just a little bit more levels. I'm really hopeful that he gets through this Leviathan.
Well, on Pyre's side, Ogo is slowly being whittled down here.
And there it goes. Porum is strong enough to take on Ogopogo with a little bit of help from Yang.
Yeah, Yang doing some nice bit of cover strats there with an illusion and some Cure 3s.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need. And now we just have an Octomam at the second spot. Not so bad, but we have a chance of getting a new character. It's Rosa.
Do you switch the heroine now? I think you do.
What do you mean switch the heroine? We have 2.
Oh, that's right. We do have 2. Yeah.
We don't need to switch the heroine robe.
We're just gonna not do any healing. Yang's gonna be the healer.
Yeah, and we don't need healing. We have 2 archers now.
So it looks like that Rosa might be kept down for the time being. Let's see. Just gonna get
She,
back up.
she took an unfortunate punch. And at this point, I don't know that it's necessarily worth getting her back up for this fight. We might get her back up later.
Well,
Masnokinza,
we're not gonna return to even get the chance. That Octomam is just toast.
yeah, Masnokinza did get through that. Leviathan did get that for him. Is now headed over to Troya, doing some shopping. We'll see if he goes in and rates the treasury after this.
Finds the silk webs, which Pyre had already seen previous trip. Those are nice and helpful, especially since Yang isn't too fast. They'll be really effective.
Yeah, silk webs cast basically they cast a double effective slow. So
Don't apologize for your seeds, Rydia.
they are very, very nice. And our reward from Dwarf Vassal is Bahamut.
Bard for the Rydia we don't have yet.
Wonderful. See, but what's going to be really funny is when Rydia shows up and she already knows Bahamut because she learned it from Dwarf Castle.
I don't remember what the spells were that she learned on that text box. That went a little bit too fast.
Yeah, I didn't see either.
Pyre is going to go back into the Fey March.
And Masnokinza is going for the treasury. This will be the power spike he needs.
Oh, right. And as that gets looted out, Pyre is going back down here. I imagine this is going to be a Golbez take because there should be enough power to get right now.
Yes. That is what I would imagine as well. We're going to go try Golbez. We do have 2 party members down already.
Buying a bit more illusions, I think.
Yep.
Let's see. Sells Leviathan off. Makes sense. We have a Blarg.
Yeah, no need for that Leviathan. But yeah, Pyre is in an excellent shape to take on Golbez here with 2 party members already downed. And Porum with the Heron Robe is already immune to that hold status.
Yep, so literally we can just simply Starveil Porum up as soon as that Shadow comes up if we want, or just wait till it despawns, then do it. And Golbez is then going to just nuke himself in the face.
Pyre, you don't need to run buffer. Your Porum will get a turn. She'll be fine.
I didn't even need to really throw the Starveil that soon. I mean,
yeah, you can wait for Shadow to come out at least. Is gonna burn through a few of the ticks on the Starveil just with Shadow taking turns and everything, but probably will still be okay.
Especially if... Oh, is he gonna take a shot here? Okay. It's not really gonna contribute that much at this point, but
that's fine.
As long as y'all can get off a
yeah. Masnokinza is headed up Zot, might be looking to take on the Flame Dog chest or try and actually clear this check out.
Well, Golbez said no to the Yang getting the Starveil out.
That's fine. Yon gets the experience anyway.
That's true. You just hope the Starveil does not run out before Golbez gets himself all the way down.
I think we've got enough time. It takes a while for the Starveil to run out, especially since we're relatively slow anchored at this point.
That seems like it's about enough. Let's see. Yep.
And yep,
Golbez is down.
Pyre is through Golbez, gets an objective complete.
And gets a Baron key.
That's 2 more checks.
Probably not what he wants to see because, again, it's a long check with some cutscene, but is another character's possibility. It now also sets up the trifecta of Magnus into Zot into Baron if you want.
That would be... I mean, I would just drop everything and do that, but I love when the routing works out that way.
It is nice, and we would also get to hear a lot of your work at the Cave Magnus spot.
It does look like Pyre's headed up to Troya. And we only have one character alive.
Yeah, this is set up really well for getting through the first phase of the Dark Elf, because I don't know if Porum's wearing anything metallic, but can easily manage to damage herself for one hit point.
I think Porum can manage to hit herself for more than 1 hit point. Absolutely. And,
luckily, the game doesn't allow 0 hits. It's like if you hit for at least 1.
Yes. And she'll be able to hit.
Yes, Jay Brian, it is Gauntlet at the King spot.
And this will give Pyrus a full heal going into Zot, which will be very nice. Saves on having to heal up. But yes, gonna skip over that King spot in the Fey March. It's rude. It's the Gauntlet. We don't want to deal with the Gauntlet there.
If we don't have to. We might have to, but we aren't going to do it.
We don't want to. Masnokinza is dealing with this Asura at Mag Sisters here. One thing I did notice is, unfortunately, has split up the good bow and the good arrows. In this case, Porum's got the good arrows, but she's only got a crossbow on, and Eddie is holding onto that elven bow with fire arrows. And unfortunately, that just means that we're getting some decent damage out of Edward, but he's not doing the best that he could. And Porum with that heroin robe doesn't have the opportunity to let it shine.
Meanwhile, DJ Spoony B is about to get going here, so we're going to be quiet and let you listen to some music. All right. That was a nice little rendition there.
Yeah.
You got the pan.
Ooh. Yeah, that pan is really nice. And unfortunately, with that splitting that Elven Bow and Arty arrows up, the Masnokinza are not able to put out enough damage against that Asura.
That is unfortunate. Probably look for the box now. I guess to a little more power. The middle one. Go down the middle row. Nope. Oh,
nope. We're gonna try the left.
That's always why I try first, just because it's the quickest one.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to work about a quarter of the time, though, when I'm taking that, that corridor. Fire,
Ooh.
meanwhile, is going to go up this tower now.
Yeah, and Pyre has, with the Elven Bow already arrows, has a much better setup. That Elven Bow will do quad damage versus Asura. So,
And the Artie bow has got tons of power behind it anyways, even when it's not a weakness. So yeah, that's
yep.
gonna be good.
Remember what we did to Paladin? That's gonna happen again.
Is it gonna be a one shot? I don't think it's gonna be a one shot, but it might be a
No,
two shot.
because this spot has more hit points, but I
But you
think
know,
a two shot.
if Porum wants to do a quad here, I mean, I'm not going to object. I don't think she can, but you know.
No, I don't think she can. Not yet. She hasn't grown strong enough for that. Now this flame dog chest is proving to be a struggle for Masnokinza, but does get through it. That crossbow accuracy is just really hurting him there, especially with the archers outside in the middle slot. And we do get a glass hat, which will help keep people alive, but... Ooh.
Well, I mean, I think at that point you can get through the Assure as long as you can keep the Reflect up long enough. I mean,
I think that was the issue the first time, though, is there's not enough damage to get Asura down before the Reflect wears off.
I mean, the thing is, doesn't know Berserk, but I mean, putting that Elven Bow and the Artie Arrow on, I think you can get enough.
Just combining those two would be enough, absolutely. But Masnokinza has been leaving that Elven Bow on Edward and the Artie Arrows on Porum.
It looks like he's going to back out of the tower, which feels kind of bad, but we'll see where Masnokinza decides to go next. Ashura is down on Pyre's side.
Yep. We'll see where Masnokinza is heading next. I mean, I am still a big fan of this play. If you don't think you've got the tools to get through it, or you can't figure out how to get through it, go try something else. At the very least, this is trying different things and taking a stab at doing something else and not banging his head into the same situation over and over again.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we found a dupe Porum here sitting in the Tower of Zot, so no character for us here. We'll see if Porum has tied up somebody useful. If this is Edward, I'm gonna laugh.
No, Porum tied up her brother.
That seems totally on point here.
It's very on brand. It's not Porum, it's Worum, and this is Maloma.
Well, they can change the names all they want. They're still the twins.
They are still the twins. Yes.
It's a nice black mage to see here relatively early. We can certainly sling Palom up, which it looks like.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna take him down.
We're gonna let Palom take a nap because he's going to be a slingshot target as well. Palom is a great slingshot target. He does lots of damage when he learns Nuke. It takes a while for him to learn Nuke.
Right now, with the setup that we have, I mean, we have 7 key items already on Pyre's side, so I mean, a Darkness Crystal and, 8 and 8 max later, and Charm Arrows on Porum, you're all there.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're looking at getting to 10 key items easily, I would say.
Well,
we got
Zot right here, I mean.
Unless it's right here, but you got Baron to do. And you have Baron
if you don't have still. That's true. You have a few things to run here, but
there's options for getting extra key items.
So many options.
Yeah. Masnokinza did pick up a second Elven Bow, which hopefully will help out with Porum's damage. As he's headed up Ordeals. Has been looting a lot, though. I did get an inventory boss on Mount Ordeals. And
Artie Bow for Pyre. So
that's not a key item, but
if Murder Porum wasn't already online, Murder Porum is getting worse.
Porum has become even more powerful.
Yeah, let's see, plus what, 25 agility is that right off the bat?
Uh, yes, between the Heron Robe and the Artie Bow, yeah. Artie Bow is an extra 10 agility, extra 10 strength. It's a better attack power than the Elven Bow. And we're abandoning Baron to go run the Pan.
That makes sense in a certain way. I mean, this
Yeah.
is 2 checks, and
And we're not as worried about the character at this point.
we're also not worried about HP. We have a tent. We can just replenish later.
Yeah.
And it is possible this is a darkness crystal or something like that, even though this is not necessarily an objective. See?
Yeah, no, these are very quick checks. Definitely going to want to do these too. Sand Ruby, that's a key item. It's a character check. It's not an objective or progression or anything, but we'll take it.
On the other hand, if you're looking to get rid of that Edward for someone more useful in a Z fight or later fights, it is a chance at it. It could still be a bedward because the seed has jokes, as it has this morning.
Absolutely, it could be something completely useless.
Well, I think Sid would also fall into that category at this point in the seed, just because Sid is somewhat slow, and
Yeah, Sid can be strong, but he is somewhat slow, and he does not shine when a faster character is the hero, which is everyone.
there is a hook available here. So that puts the Falcon Dive in play.
Yes, and we can turn in that rat tail now.
Slap that crystal ring on Sid. Yeah, and the Artie Bow. Then he's at least average agility.
Yes, that is what Sid takes to get to average agility, plus 15. He's that slow.
I guess you can put Ninja Ham for plus 18 as well, if you really want.
I suppose. Masnokinza does get through that plague. Did some reviving and knocking down of Edward because Edward doesn't really matter.
Fire has found a leg taking a bath at a waterfall.
Yep, it's the waterfall boss is not going to gate any key items, but there is a cheeky demist hiding somewhere. And we haven't seen it yet. It's probably a good idea while you're here raising the hovercraft, just quickly pop in and just see if that's demist or not.
The cheekiest of Demas is always the one in the package.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, the cheekiest of demist is the one that's at Mist Cave that you don't check.
Because who's ever forgotten to check Mist Cave?
Yeah, it definitely hasn't decided races.
Yang is going to take the mirror room on Masnokinza's side. As Pyre is going to get rid of the stinky red tail he's been holding around for a while. Tries to give the Baron key instead. Guy doesn't want it. Ooh, it's darkness.
That is good. That is
10 key items.
That is 10 key items, and that is moon access. It is basically that is the seed telling Pyre, you should maybe consider grinding right now.
Indeed. And plus, at this point now, that puts another 3 objectives on the table for Pyre. So Pyre is down to just needing any 2 of the package, the pink tail, the adamant rock, and the power key. So,
Yeah.
once Pyre does the grind, do you think you try the moon for those the ribbon room and see if you maybe get lucky?
Yes, we've got exit. I think Baron is the only thing that's maybe tempting to me, and it's not even that tempting.
Well, it is long, and if you'd like your party character selections already, now it looks like Pyre might be wanting to see who's in the hook route to see if there's a better option than Edward.
Yes, I definitely don't hate this play, checking the hook route character just to see if there's a better option. I expect Pyro will also check the moon character before doing a grind.
If this one isn't what he wants exactly, I mean, yeah. Item shop here in Evelyn is a bit of a bust.
Mm-hmm.
Armor shop, there's weapon shop actually, also a bust because we already have poison axes and ogre axes. We have black
belts and bandanas here. That's a good armor shop. And that's it.
Character here. Okay.
Honestly, I think the reason that we're not looking for characters is because we already have 2 characters set up to slingshot. And you can't set up a 3rd character to slingshot.
But you have Edward.
but the only characters who would solve that problem is if you got Edge or Sid. If we get anyone else, that ruins a slingshot. And then we have to go set up a slingshot by
You can just put a
doing
fire underground.
extra stuff. I mean, you could do that.
I mean, it'll also make the grind go a little faster because you can get some more levels on your edge and your porum, your yang and your porum.
I could see that. I am a little curious that it was just the shop and not the character, but I guess I can see not wanting to walk all the way down there if you're happy enough with this party. I mean, we have a Palom and Rosa set up to slingshot, and we've already got Porum. Pyre might just be thinking, I don't really need other characters in my party. Yong's gonna get a decent amount of levels from whatever grind that he does.
Or is just satisfied with there's going to be 4 characters and
And Edward is going to be there too.
Oh, and finds life potions and Thor rages here in the Mysidia shop. That's nice and perfect for the grind.
Those are great grind tools.
Also finds the charm arrows here.
Wonderful. All of Mysidia, your one-stop shop for the Mac Giant grind.
And Pyre is going to probably go run right. Oh, gonna check the moon first. Okay.
Yeah, the moon character is very quick to check. This one, I feel like there's not a good reason for you to skip. Hook character, sure, it's a little ways in there. You can pass on that one, but the moon character is right here. You're gonna have to clear this cutscene anyway because you have to go down to the Ribbon Room at some point. You may as well just clear it now, see if the character's worthwhile.
Well, let's see. The slot machine of characters says Eddie, maybe? Oh,
Edge!
Nice.
That is a great replacement for Edward. That won't ruin the slingshots. This is a wonderful character for Pyre to get.
Although I kind of object to what the randomizer is saying, that he's an average guy here.
Yeah, he's a bit above average. And we're heading back to the blue planet. Actually, if Pyre remembers, boomerangs were in Mysidia.
Oh,
So
is
we might
landing
be
the
headed
whale?
right there to go back Rogue Glitch Edge, although that would require remembering what's in your shops. Meanwhile, Masnokinza is headed off to go do music. This is promising. We'll be able to get the pan from this, which is the chain that leads to darkness. So, music required?
Almost certainly. Unless for some reason we can get through the race without either the Ribbon Room or the Giant.
I mean, if anything else... Actually, no, music is required because this had the hook.
That is true. Okay.
Music gates 4 objectives. Never mind. Music is absolutely hard required. I love it.
And Alchemy, I really don't think that Edge is going to be much of a video game player. He's probably going to just break the screen every time he runs into a problem. I mean, I guess that would make him angry, but I don't think he's going to get through many video games. And looks like Pyre is resetting to set up the manip grind for the max.
Yeah, by carefully counting steps here outside of Mysidia, you can figure out what encounter seed you're on. Basically, the game chooses from a bunch of different seeds that determine, okay, you're going to get encounters on this step, and this step, and so on and so forth as you go through the game. We're trying to figure out that changes every time you reset and reload up the game. Pyre is going to try and figure out basically which seed we've made up. Our community members have made up a huge chart that says if you get an encounter on this step after a reset, this is what seed you're on, and or this is how you can find this fight in the giant that Pyre is going to be finding to get his grind going.
And it seems he's finally found a seed that leads to the promised land. One of the little challenges about the Mac grind is only about half the seeds lead to you getting the
Yes.
fight you want in a reasonable amount of time. Reasonable being defined as within 7 encounters on the overworld, I guess, based on what the chart looks.
Music time.
What?
It's music time.
Oh, all right. Masnokinza is through the wagon here at the Cave Magnus. And Pyre is almost through with the grind at this point. I've gone through about 3 max already, I think.
Yeah, I think we've gotten 3 Mac Giants down. The fourth one just summoned. Did finish that minute, found the fight pretty easily. And we're getting lots of damage in with these Charm Arrows on Rosa and Porum. Yang with the Charm Claw as well, doing lots of damage. These giants are, of course, giants, so they are weak to the charm stuff. but they're also machines, which means that if you have lit arrows or thunder claws, those will work as well. Charm arrows are better than thunder claws just because they have a higher base damage, but either would work for dealing damage to these Mac Giants.
It looks like we're getting one more Mac up, and that's probably be the last Mac we see.
Yeah. I can't imagine we need much more experience than this. 10 key items. Each of these Mac Giants is worth 62,000 experience, I believe.
Oh, we're gonna get another one because that Gungnir was not enough to get rid of the alert or the search.
Ooh, their bonus experience, yay!
Well, didn't
Palom,
like
of course, is
didn't
getting
like which last one, so not
that
too
doubled. Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna say no to extra experience.
bad. Level 60 Palom is a lot more likely to do quads than level 52 Palom is. That's true.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's not like we do want to get out of this fight, but
And we're through. 656k, doubled for our 2 slingshot targets. So
that is a lot of experience. Yes, Warham is going to be up to at least Cure 4, not white. Moza is gonna be fine.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's all of her spells. Avgi gets to get a bunch of levels. He's good. Yang gets levels, and Maloma gets 47 levels. You love to see it. That's a nuke online.
Indeed. Lots of fun stuff online here.
And a free cabin.
Well, you know.
Yep. That is, Pyre now has all of the power he needs to clear the entire seed, pretty much. Masnokinza, meanwhile, is going to be headed through Dwarf Castle to try and take on Ogopogo. Cure 2 is not going to do a lot when you have that Heron robe equipped.
Unfortunately not, and that's still
And I think-
a punchy thing here.
And I think those Medusa arrows are not helping either. At least I think that's Medusa arrows on Porum. Yeah, Medusa crossbow is really not good. Not what you want to have at this point in the seed. Medusa
No,
arrows are the weakest arrows in the game, but they do inflict stone. Unfortunately, Ogopogo is immune to stone. So,
Meanwhile, Pyre is looking at the element spot and is seeing that, well, this isn't the worst to see after a grind.
yeah, this is a relatively easy fight to do after you've grinded.
Yeah, because Cecil can't, or DKC can't kill your Yang here in this location, so this is free.
Yep. I think we're gonna see Porum at least fall down. Maybe Palom as well. Nope, looks like Palom is fine.
Nope, only Porum went down, and unfortunately the life was on the wrong character, so...
Yeah,
Porum's
I
not
think
gonna
that
be
was just
very
a
fair. Yeah.
mismenu. Porum missing the experience is a little unfortunate because she's the one who needs to catch up to get her big spells, but she's at least got Cure 4. She's well on her way to learning White.
Although on the fun part, because of all the experience here, she might actually be in sling range again.
Actually, she might be. Yeah, this is another 200,000 experience. That's another couple of levels for everyone. 2-3 levels across the board.
Let's take a look when Pyre saves here.
All we need is for either Yang or
49. Nope, she's not far enough because the other two are at 51.
yeah, no, she would need to be a bit further behind. I think the 300,000 from this spot should be plenty for her though.
Ew.
This plus the Riven Room, she'll learn White.
Oh, she got to white. This is just a little bit ugly because you don't have a cane here.
Yeah. So we're not going to be able to cast any spells at this Valvalis. This is going to be archery. And maybe Yang as well.
All right, Yang's gonna put on some claws. It looks like.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. He generally does better when he has a claw equipped. Gonna throw that poison claw on. That'll give him some extra strength and accuracy. And now, ooh, this is gonna be a little bit of a rough fight if that's all the damage we get to do.
It looks like this is gonna be about it. 20,000 hit points is gonna take a little bit to get there.
Yeah, this is fine. It's just not pleasant.
Masnokinza is still taking on the Ogopogo here. Yang just went down, unfortunately.
Yeah, this fight is going very pear-shaped with the just not being able to put out a lot of damage with the wrong bow and arrow on that Porum. This is a case of Porum has to do too many things all at once, and not being able to balance out Porum, what really focused Porum on anything, has led to her just being not good enough at anything.
200 points over on Vivalis. That's one of the higher hits we've seen.
Yeah.
Alan is just sitting there on the menu screen, having nothing to do in this particular fight.
Yeah, he can't really help.
And Val is down. 300,000
Nice,
points.
that
The
is-
Porum is well over white levels, so there we go.
Yep, that was plenty.
I would say it would be rude if it was split, but that's almost worse than a split.
Mm-hmm. Masnokinza has managed to hold this Oko fight together. I'm kind of impressed at how long this Oko fight has been going on, and like Masnokinza hasn't fallen down.
Meanwhile, we see that there is a vanilla cane on the giant. We're not going to take him at this point.
Yeah,
but,
I was gonna say I think it's a little bit late to take Kane along.
there's a second objective down for Pyre.
Indeed, that is.
And is this going to be a moon dive, or is it looks like it's going to be a moon dive?
Yep, landing the whale right away means we're probably heading straight up to the moon to. I mean, I would expect to go take on the Ribbon Room and then see what else is up there.
I mean, we could have done the poke route because the hovercraft is right here, but we'll take that when we come back and land on the Earth again.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate doing the moon, coming straight down, doing the hook route right away.
No, it makes a bit of sense. I mean, you're right there.
You're right there.
And-
You'll get the Falcon when you finish the hook route. If you have the tower key from the moon, go right into the tower and get your Enterprise back. Why bother flying airships around? I'm playing the airship shuffle.
It'd be a nice bit of routing if the game allows it. I'm not sure if it's going to, but
No, that does depend on getting the tower key up here, but it would be very convenient.
the item placements have been very nice. It's just that the boss placements have not been.
No.
And Masnokinza is through that Ogopogo.
Thank goodness. The that honestly, getting through that fight with the setup that they did, really impressive. Just being able to figure out on the fly, okay, Porum can't heal because she has the Heron Robe. Let's switch to Cure 2 pots. And I think this Octo should be fine with Rosa joining. And getting another glimpse at Rydio summons, know that Bahamut summon is actually useful. Theoretically.
Yeah, we haven't seen Iridia though in this seed yet.
That's why I said theoretically.
She is in the seed somewhere, we know that much. We just don't know where she happens to be hiding. At this point, I'm going to say probably behind Baron because we've had access to it forever.
Probably.
We have a Dark Elf down here.
It could be worse. Dark Elf, of course, being basically free in the second phase. The first phase is going to be a little bit ruder, but if we can make it to phase 2, we're fine.
We just need to make sure that the weak is hitting the wrong character here.
Now we got Cure 3 pots.
Yep, it gets off before the next round of chained spells here.
Yep, and unfortunately Rosa is a pig now, so she doesn't get to cast spells anymore.
Not that they're really needed in this. I mean, as soon as that Dark Elf changes forms, it becomes very weak to those arty arrows that Porum is slinging over there.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Microwave Dark Elf smells a little bit bad in the microwave.
And there's the me change.
Well, first we're going to poison it. And then we're going to quad it, maybe? No, not quite.
No.
That's still pretty good.
And then we're going to weak it.
It was almost unnecessary with what the damage being put out here, but yeah.
Just to make sure that Dark Elf goes away. It did split the experience a little bit, but Porum still learned life too, so it's okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to have power overwhelming here regardless. That's a third objective down. It's a pink tail. That's another objective.
Yep, there's another objective. Great. And we got a Stardust Rod for Palom, which was very nice.
As if he wasn't already going to be slinging quads by the time this is done. So now the question is, you're one item away from go mode. Do you actually bother to take... Well, I guess you are. If you're Pyre, you're going to take another altar. You're right here at the white altar.
Well,
you're hoping...
Pyre only really has the Baron Key to go back for. And Pyre's had that Baron Key for a while. There's a lot of other places up on the moon to check for that potential tower key, adamant, or package that we would need for go mode. May as well stay up here for a little bit, see if we can find one of those items up here.
Yep, it will feel bad if it gets through all these and doesn't get anything else of value. But, you're already here. You don't have a pass yet, you don't want to come back.
No, definitely don't want to have to walk the moon that many times in the seed. Plus, we might get a pass up here. And if we do, that'd be nice.
And the sisters are down.
Yep.
Continue to add on top of our already very sick levels. And it's a protect ring.
I mean, we'll take that.
It's going to sit in the inventory. Okay, never mind. It's going to
it's going to go on Rosa and sit on Rosa forever. I think that's a very good play. Let's keep her safe. And I definitely don't hate just taking a quick stop to equip that.
I don't think Pyro could stop to save though, so going right here
No, but we don't
Mazel.
care about it that much. If this is something truly terrible, we don't need the protectoring that badly.
That is true.
But this is not truly terrible.
No, it's just a little bit annoying. I mean, extra 9,000 in this spot. Who cares? It's just one extra nuke.
Yeah.
Can't pal him, but
Yeah, it's an extra spell, a couple extra hits from our Zerkers. Not a big deal.
and to be honest, all the power in this party, that Bomba might go down before it ever even bloats.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Mombum lasting too long here. Looks like Rosa is going to pivot to pure white mage mode.
And just blows the Mamba off the white to the face.
Yep.
As it was written in the script. Crystal Sword.
Neat. Apparently not worth walking back and getting the protectoring back. That's fine. I might have kept that only because resetting meant losing the protectoring. But I suppose we'll be okay. The real annoyance is that now you didn't. Now we have to re-equip the Stardust Rod on the Life Staff.
Yeah, but
oh, Cecil was on the Sand Ruby the whole time.
we could have had him. We had the Sand Ruby for a while.
Yeah, Masnokinza is gonna get to use this Cecil.
I might even get the Crystal Sword on the Cecil too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Crystal Swords, there's a Crystal Sword altar here on Pyre's side.
It's Odin.
It's funny how we dismiss Odin when he's not at the worst of spots to see, but
He's punching kind of hard, I guess.
it will punch pretty hard here, but just doesn't have the HP to really be a threat.
Yeah. We're gonna blow him up. It's fine. I expect this nuke from Palom should do it.
Probably. Just a
Yep.
casual quad.
Yep, there he goes.
There's value. That's go mode.
Yep, there's our go mode. And yeah, Pyre is out. Immediately. We honestly, in this case, you get that hook route done. Forge, trade your Pinktail. And then we're gonna probably see Pyre head back through the moon to go fight Zeromus. Now, what do you think the Pinktail will be this seed?
Crystal. Why not?
That would be funny. I'm kind of hoping for white shirt, but I think that's what Pyre would be hoping for at this point.
We've already seen one though.
Yeah, but why not have a second one?
I mean, I guess if you're gonna switch both white mages over to doing that, I guess you could.
Yeah, why not? You could go reflect strats then.
You can go reflect strikes even without doing that, but yeah.
There's real reflect strats. I mean, anything is fine for this party. Oh, hey, look. There's that Rydia.
And we had access to her pretty much before the grind too, if we really wanted.
We definitely had access to her before the grind. We could have slingshotted Rydia. And she has Bahamut. But she's gone. It's too late.
Yeah, there's only a couple more fights coming up.
Yep. Masnokinza has made it through the chain that leads to darkness, has gone through that pan sequence, got that rat tail, or got that hook, got that darkness crystal, is raising the big whale. But I think it's a bit too late for him.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of yes, bouncing the this is more of
Yeah, just the bounces in the early game really slowed him down. But has been making some great progress. Let's see what's we have here at our hook route. How bad would this hook seed have been? Actually, never mind. This hook seed would have been awful. We have... this would have been awful.
I mean, as long as you can last until you get to the breath phase, it'd be fine.
I don't think Edward, Young, and Porum are doing that.
I don't know, it might work.
Not at this spot. This spot punches hard. At this point, though, Rosa just Cure 4s them and they go away.
And it is the quarter version.
Yes, we have all 4 of the elements. Pyre doesn't really want to deal with the whole transformation thing. So we're just gonna go ahead and reflect some spells off of Edge. Because if you only reflect spells, the elements don't get to transform.
Next one's going to check out the shop here in the moon. If there's anything good from the Gaming Way community. Still, maybe if you took the Rydia, but that's not really all that helpful at this point.
I do appreciate Pyre showing us what's at top of tower. It's the Baron Guards. Pyre is not going to be fighting them.
Nope. Pyre is not going to be fighting anything else at this point other than Z, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, the other 2 objectives that Pyre has to complete are just you take this item to this place and exchange it for something else.
Yes, I don't think that the Adamant Cave guy is going to bother to fight you for it.
That would be fun. Let's make that where the Water Hag boss goes. Because the Water Hag spot gets removed from the game. Just throw a random boss there.
Well,
whatever boss gets out of the seed.
I guess that could go into our F&I spitballing mega thread for ideas for the game, or something like a fork. It's like Final Fantasy IV free Enterprise, not free Adamant.
Wonderful. This definitely goes into our fork feedback and ideas. Looks like we're gonna sell some things, get Silent Staff for Porum, and a Dragon Claw for Yang. Cool.
I don't think it's getting used, but that's okay.
Yeah, as it turns out, Cat Claws are pretty good.
Oh, okay. We bought a defense sword for us.
For Edge to throw.
Dart. Yeah.
It is a very strong dart, stronger than anything else but White Spear, Excal, and yeah, no, that's it. I started that list and then was like, wait a minute, there's only 2 things on this list.
Yeah, we don't have our dart of darts, which is the spoon. We're not going to see it either. Based on what's left to go.
Yeah.
Fire will go back and retrieve the hovercraft.
Yep, taking this over to the Adamant Cave to see what the Pink Tail will give.
Oh, it's a nice dartable. Maybe an Excal.
Yeah, Excal would be good. Dragoon Lance wouldn't be terrible. Masa would be
And-
okay.
There's the crystal for Pyre.
Avenger would be kind of a disappointment.
Excal.
Good. There's a dart. Great. Okay, that's a pretty strong dart. Strongest dart in the game other than the spoon. These levels, Excal should pretty close to quad 9.
Indeed. Now, Pyre is going to have to go back and walk the LST because did not find the pass in his travels, but that's okay. I think he'll take the 2-minute walk to get done with this seed.
Yes, it is generally faster to just walk the moon at this point than try and scrounge up a pass unless you had a quick check like the rat tail turn-in or a pan check to do, but we did those already.
I think literally our only checks available on the Earth were the Baron Key at that point, which you're not going to do for that.
No. It's Baron Key or the Cave Bahamut Masa Altar Gauntlet. Or Top of Tower.
You could have the keyless, but it's like, again, it's a long
the time you take to do that check, you could just walk the moon. So we're walking the moon.
Let's maybe make the moon's floor lava and just the rest of the world's okay. Alright. Well, while Pyre is walking down, it's a good time to give a thanks to Radia Caller for doing the stream today. Cat for being on the comms here with me this morning. Rowdy Sniper for doing the tracking. And of course our racers Masnokinza and Pyre. It's a good idea to give all of them a follow on Twitch. And if you're interested in free enterprise, you can always join the Discord and find out more about the game, join some races, and know everyone.
Absolutely. And I also want to give a shout out to Garen, my co-comms here in the booth with me. And you can join our restream team. We're friendly. We don't bite. If you have any interest in helping out, we are always looking for more people to help put on these shows, because these restreams don't happen without people who are willing to do the things. And the best way to do that is join the Discord. And then we have the instructions are in there.
Wait, there are instructions with this thing?
I mean, only instructions to join the restream team. After that, you're on your own.
I never read the manual first. I mean, you know.
There's a lot of really good information out there if you go looking for it. And it's not that hard to find. But it does look like Pyre is doing the final setup for the Zeromus fight. Gonna be swapping Porum over to that Silent Staff.
is leaving heroin on though, which is a choice.
I don't hate it for the agility.
I,
No.
I I could see Artibo for that. I mean, it just seems that you're gonna try and reflect it. Maybe try something else, but
Yeah. The silent staff will mostly cancel out the heroin robe, and I think just doesn't want to have to think about swapping equipment. I am starting to see some interesting flags in chat. It's way too early to be going to bed, though.
never.
Yeah, it's like 11:30.
Yeah, have you heard about second sleep?
No,
Did you hear about third sleep?
no.
Anyways, so for Enterprise, we don't randomize where Zeromus is because Zeromus has a pretty nasty script. Anywhere else in the game would just be kind of broken. So we leave him right here. But since it's a randomizer, it'd be kind of boring to face the exact same final boss every single time. So what we've decided to do is Zeromus gets to LARP as a different sprite every single seed. Which leads us to the question that we always ask this time of day. What is that, Zeno?
Whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
And Karanak, no, the tracker is not broken. Asno does not actually have any objectives down at this point. It has been a bit of a rude seed as far as it went. Crystal is out. Is Zeromus randomized location to experiment with? I don't think so on any official branches of this thing.
Zeromus is hard to move. And it's Gravimus.
Well, this is definitely what I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen this one either, but yeah.
Maybe this was a new for 4.61. I don't know.
It is 6V, yes. I recognize the game.
Which I haven't played it myself. I know other people have played it as part of Archipelago, so there we go.
That is the game that this is from. Pyro looks to be doing some relatively standard reflect strats, so basically setting up a wall. Gonna throw that X-Gal just to push a little bit of extra damage. Basically, the reason that we're reflecting these spells, one is reflecting a spell avoids counterattacks from Zeromus, who counters all sorts of, usually with nuke, but will counter that holy spell in particular from Porum with a single target weak. So it avoids those counters, but it also avoids the more important counter, which is that devs wanted to give Zeromus more hit points than they could actually mechanically give him in the game. The game is capped out at 65,535 hit points for any enemy in the game. But they really wanted Zeromus to have just a bit more than that. So what they did is they had him refill his health at a certain point. Unfortunately, that's a counter script. And if we kill him with reflected spells, he doesn't get to activate that counter script. Which means we don't have to do all of that damage.
Yep. That tip happens about 45,000 hit points, right?
Yes, it is. Zeromus starts with 61,000 hit points. When Zeromus is under 16,000 hit points, he will activate that counter script. So 45,000 hit points in. And will refill up to 61,000 hit points. But if we only reflect, there's no damage. Or there's no counter script. And yeah, that's it.
GG.
That is GG's to Pyre, finishing this race in first place. With a time of 1:31.13.
Indeed. And we'll be having an interview from Pyre coming up here, so just hold on one moment for that.
And it sounds
And
like we are now joined by Pyre. GG's.
Gee, thank you.
what did you think of the early game on this one, Pyre?
Oh, not a fan of the immediate magma start because there's too much places to go for loot, and the characters weren't ideal. But fortunately, the loot and the vampires down at the shop helped me get going pretty easily.
Yeah, those vampires were absolutely huge for you. Uh, Masnokinza didn't end up checking Tamra, which meant that he didn't have vampires, which meant that it was a lot harder of a time getting Porum.
Oh,
And
I
then
imagine.
Porum opened the entire seed.
Yeah, pretty much, especially with that early Earth Crystal and the 2 heroin robes. She did most of the work.
Indeed. So I
Always
am
nice.
a
Go
little
ahead.
bit curious. You dipped into the hook. Wait, we saw right as you hit that 10 key item threshold with that darkness crystal, you dipped into the hook route for the shops, but then didn't check the character. I'm just wondering what the thoughts were on that.
I figured if there was nothing on the moon, what I had already was good enough. So, I didn't
That's
want to waste
fair.
the time walking down and then exiting out if it was nothing. Plus, I didn't
That
want to walk down there in general unless I had to.
that is fair. But you could have had Bahamut Radia.
Just in time to get slingshotted to nuke.
Yeah. Oh, well, you had 2 slingshot targets already, so
Yep, and it worked out well with Edge on the moon. Then I didn't have to go take my safety siren to get people ready.
yes, that we did say like, oh my, that's like the perfect character to get here.
Yeah, it really is.
Any other character would have made you safety siren except for Sid, but Sid is bad.
Yeah, I wasn't taking Sid. I would have went back and safety siren. Though I did have, I don't remember if I had the Artemis bow at that point. Maybe if I did, I would have taken him, but I
You
don't
think
quite
you
recall.
did? I think
Oh,
I feel the Artibo was from Zot, so I think you had that.
oh, gotcha. Then I don't think I would have taken him, but if I thought about it a little more, maybe because him Artie bow with Artie arrows Sid can hit pretty
Yeah,
good if needed.
yeah. We I don't think we actually know where Sid is. Probably at the package
Ah, yeah, package
or Baron. No
or
one's
Sand
checked
Ruby.
either of
I
those.
don't know if anybody checks Sand
Cecil
Ruby.
was at Sandruby
Oh,
actually.
gotcha.
We
I really didn't
Masnokinza
want to
checked that.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, lightsaber Cecil, which is all that he found, was not what you're looking for.
Yeah, I only had an ogre axe from him and some
Ooh,
heavy
yeah,
armor,
no.
so nothing particularly useful for him at this point, except for at the very end. I would have got something for him, but at that point, I didn't need it.
No. No. It seemed like everything kind of came once you got going, everything kind of came up your way this seed. Who
Yeah,
knew Harp would just have everything? It's fine.
right? Yeah, and with that gold best in that spot, and my characters ended up the way they did. Like, Seed basically just told me where to go because they're already set up for most of it.
Yeah. No, everything really lined up very neatly, and it was here's like all of your objectives, right in a row. Go to the moon and see what you can find up there.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried when I figured I'd have to do the rest of the moon, then go back to the blue planet and start checking the checks I skipped. Because with my
Yeah.
luck, Tower would have had Tower Key
There's
and
like Tapa
package or
Tower would have had
something.
Tower Key,
Yeah,
and then like Baron Key would have had something. And then there'd be something behind the gauntlet, of course.
yeah, I was no way I was coming back to
No,
that one.
no one expected that.
Yep.
No, that is a check that you saved that you last location.
Yup.
And no one blames you for it because it's the Gauntlet in the Fey March.
Yeah, that's one of the nastier ones.
Yeah. Especially with taking out the Golbez so early. No reason to do Gauntlet. But yeah, GG's once again. Garen, you have... Oh, Garen is muted. Any final thoughts on the Seed Pyre?
No, not really. Once I got going, everything just fell into place and basically played itself.
Well, GG's once again. We did get a forfeit from Masnokinza. We'll see about getting him in here for an interview. Thank you so much for joining us, Pyre, and thank you for putting on a great show.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me. Bye.
And that was our first place finisher, Pyre, who'll be moving to 1-0 in our Swiss of this tournament. We'll see about getting Masnokinza in here. Oh, and it sounds like we are now joined by Masnokinza. GG's.
Hello, hello.
Talk about a rough early game.
Yeah, you got that right.
I mean, it's not really like you did anything wrong necessarily. It's just Young and Edward do not have any power.
Yeah, that was a rough start.
Yeah, no, there's a few like specific things that you kind of need to find in that situation, and it didn't end up finding them.
Yeah, I was bouncing around trying to find something I could actually complete.
Yeah, Pyre ended up finding vampires in the Tomra shop, which really sped up his early game.
Yeah, I'd say that would help.
Yeah. And then, fortunately, once you got that Porum, it was a little bit smoother sailing. And there were some really, honestly, I just want to shout out your Ogopogo fight, because even though that was messy on the surface, getting through that was, I was not sure you were going to get through that fight.
But that makes two of us.
I mean, you pulled it off, though.
I mean, I gave it my best. It just had a lot of nerves, and it was
Yeah,
just a rough seed.
it happens. There's lots of things that you have to think about with this game, and it's not always easy to think of all of them when you're also under the pressure of, I need to go as fast as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So I did see that you at least had like set up your grind at the end of the seed. I think you just finished your grind.
Yeah, I love how I got the Thunderclaws after I did both the bosses that were weak against it.
I mean, Mac Giants are weak to Thunder, so
Yeah, that's why I swapped.
great. Wonderful. Yeah, no, it worked out really well. One thing I am a little curious about is the choice of bow and arrow on Porum throughout a lot of that seed.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure I was going to be able to keep anybody alive, so I went with a heroin robe and just tried to dish out damage somehow.
No, I'm absolutely supportive of getting Porum to do damage. I'm just curious why Edward got to keep the good stuff.
I thought about that whenever I went into his inventory once, just never swapped it.
Yeah. Oh well, it happens.
I was actually hoping to find another bow, but that never happened.
No, of course not. Why would you find another bow? No, the seed won't give you things. This seed only gives you pain.
Yes, it definitely gave me pain.
And
It does
required
have
music. Required music and pain.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think, I mean, it's the seed. I feel like the story of this race was a combination of a rough early game with just not having the power that you needed, and then everything being behind that twin harp, and Pyre finding that relatively early and then just being like, yeah, I'm gonna go blow up the moon.
Right.
Really, once you get through the tarp chain, everything else is kind of just right there.
Yeah, I just got to it too late and
Yeah.
going a little too slow.
Oh well. What are your thoughts on the flag set overall?
I like it, really.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a challenging one, but even compared to some of our other tournament flag sets, but it's grown on me a lot.
Yeah, it's not as quick as the little Omni seeds, but
No,
it's pretty fun.
definitely not. Oh, Karen, any burning questions you want to ask?
No, I think you pretty much covered most of them. It just was a bit of a rough starting combination for you, and you took a little bit of experimentation to get through it. And hopefully next race it'll go a little bit better with some of that experience.
I sure hope so.
Well, even if you forfeited out, you got through the hard part of the seed, so you still get a GG in my book.
Well, thank you.
Any final thoughts before we let you go?
I'd just like to thank everybody for putting on this tournament and the Restream team.
Well, thank you for volunteering for the restream, and we can't have a show without the runners. So again, GG, and hopefully we see you again later in the tournament.
Yep, GG.
And with that, that does it for us here today. We do have more races coming up later this afternoon. I believe we have one other restreamed race on Free Enterprise 2 at 6 p.m. Elven Sorrow versus C2.
Yep, and if you're on our Discord, Korgs is facing Dush, and then Toll Grant is facing one free Fritz. The first race is getting going in about 6 minutes. The other one is at 1 o'clock.
Yep, those races are not restreamed, but you can find them on those runners' channels. They'll be streaming them. I like to pull up all the races while I am looking through things. We are going to be sending you over to Golden Shocker, who is doing some ZC6 practice. Golden Shocker, another runner in this tournament. Go wish him the best, and we will see you all next stream.
Thank you and goodbye.